Hello everyone, welcome back to ACP Civil Hub. In this video, we are starting one of the most important sections of a PEB General Arrangement drawing, the General Notes. Many beginners focus only on plans, elevations, and member details, but experienced engineers know that the General Notes section contains critical construction instructions that must be followed during fabrication and site execution. These notes define important requirements such as units of measurement, anchor bolt installation, foundation tolerances, construction responsibilities, and drawing revision checks. Ignoring these notes can lead to incorrect fabrication, installation errors, alignment problems, or unnecessary rework at the construction site. In this video series, we will explain every general note one by one in a simple and practical way, so you understand not only what each note says, but also why it is important in real PEB projects. Let's begin. Before starting fabrication or installation, every PEB project must clearly specify the approved color scheme. This general note provides 4 important color references. The first is the structure color, which defines the paint color for the main steel members. The second is the roof sheet color, used for the roof sheeting installed on top of the structure. The third is the cladding sheet color, which specifies the color of the wall cladding panels. Finally, the flashings color defines the finish for flashings installed around roof edges, corners, ridges, gutters, and wall junctions. These color specifications ensure a uniform appearance, help avoid confusion during procurement, and maintain consistency throughout the entire project. In the next slide, we'll continue with the next general note. Let's understand General Note number 1. This note states that all dimensions shown in the drawing are in millimeters, while all levels or elevations are given in meters, unless specifically mentioned otherwise. For example, if a beam length is written as 6,000, it means 6,000 millimeters, which is equal to 6 meters. Similarly, if a finished floor level is shown as plus 5.250, it represents 5.250 meters, not millimeters. Understanding this difference is extremely important because dimensions define the physical size of structural members, while levels define their vertical position. If an engineer, fabricator, or site supervisor confuses these units, it can result in incorrect fabrication, improper installation, or serious construction errors. Therefore, before reading any general arrangement drawing, always confirm the drawing units mentioned in the general notes. In the next slide, we'll continue with general note number 2. Now let's understand general note number 2. This note is related to anchor bolts, which are one of the most important components connecting the steel structure to the concrete foundation. First, it states that all anchor bolt dimensions are in millimeters. So, every bolt diameter, spacing, edge distance, and projection shown in the drawing must be interpreted in millimeters. Next, the note says that the anchor bolt projection must be according to the approved design. This means the portion of the bolt projecting above the concrete foundation must exactly match the design drawing. If the projection is too short or too long, installing the base plate, nuts, and washers correctly can become difficult, affecting the structural connection. Finally, the note instructs that the anchor bolt threads must always be kept clean. During construction, concrete, dust, paint, or rust should not accumulate on the threads because contaminated threads make nut tightening difficult and can delay installation or reduce connection quality. Therefore, before steel erection begins, always verify the anchor bolt dimensions, projection height, and thread condition to ensure safe and accurate installation. In the next slide, We'll continue with General Note number 3. Now let's understand General Note number 3. This note states that the anchor bolt must always be kept perpendicular to the theoretical bearing surface, unless noted otherwise in the drawing. In simple words, the anchor bolt should stand perfectly vertical, forming a 90-degree angle with the bearing surface of the foundation or pedestal. Why is this important? When the anchor bolt is vertical, the base plate fits properly, the nuts and washers sit evenly, and the column transfers its load safely to the concrete foundation. However, if the anchor bolt is tilted or out of alignment, problems can occur during steel erection. The base plate holes may not align correctly. Tightening the nuts becomes difficult, additional site corrections may be required, and the connection quality can be affected. Therefore, before installing the steel column, always verify that every anchor bolt is perfectly perpendicular to the bearing surface. A small alignment error at the foundation stage can create major installation problems later. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 4. Now let's understand General Note number 4. This note clearly states that the customer is responsible for establishing the correct building lines and benchmarks at the construction site. But what does this mean? Building lines are the reference lines used to position the entire steel building on the foundation. They ensure that every column, wall, and structural member is erected at the correct location according to the approved layout. A benchmark, or BM, is a fixed reference point that provides the correct elevation for the project. All foundation levels, column base levels, and structural elevations are measured from this reference point. If either the building lines or the benchmark is incorrect, the entire structure can be misplaced. This may lead to column misalignment, erection difficulties, incorrect building dimensions, and costly site corrections. That's why this responsibility is assigned before steel erection begins. Accurate site surveying is essential to ensure the structure is installed exactly as designed. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 5. Now let's understand General Note number 5. This note contains several important quality control requirements that must be checked before steel erection begins. First, the slab or edge beam must be perfectly square and level, with a maximum tolerance of 5 mm. This ensures the steel columns and base plates sit correctly on the foundation. Next, the anchor bolts must be installed according to the specified dimensions and projection. The maximum allowable deviation is only 5 mm. Even a small error beyond this limit can create alignment problems during column installation. The note also emphasizes that anchor bolt threads must be protected during concreting. If concrete, dust, or debris sticks to the threads, tightening the nuts becomes difficult. If the threads are accidentally contaminated, they should be cleaned thoroughly before erection. Finally, all anchor bolt templates must be removed after the concrete has hardened and the anchor bolts have been cast successfully. Templates are temporary positioning tools and should not remain in the finished foundation. In short, accurate leveling, correct anchor bolt positioning, clean threads, and proper template removal help ensure smooth steel erection and reduce costly site corrections. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 6. Now let's understand General Note number 6. This note clarifies an important responsibility in every PEB project. It states that the steel building supplier is not responsible for the design or construction of the column foundations and concrete slabs. These civil works must be designed and executed by the project's civil or structural foundation engineer. The note also explains that the column reactions provided in the structural drawings are the minimum design values. These reactions, such as axial load, shear force, and bending moment, must be considered while designing the foundation. However, the foundation engineer should also evaluate site conditions, soil bearing capacity, applicable design codes, and any additional project requirements before finalizing the foundation design. Simply copying the reaction values without proper engineering design is not sufficient. Therefore, before construction begins, always ensure that the foundation has been independently designed and verified using the specified reactions as the minimum design basis. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 7. Now let's understand General Note number 7. This is one of the most important general notes because it defines the installation requirements and allowable tolerances for anchor bolts. The note states that all anchor bolts and embedded items must be installed according to the AISC Code of Standard Practice, Section 7, and the approved anchor bolt setting plan issued for construction. It also specifies the maximum permissible tolerances during anchor bolt installation. Within a single anchor bolt group, the center-to-center spacing between any two anchor bolts can vary by a maximum of 3 mm. The center-to-center distance between two anchor bolt groups is allowed a maximum deviation of 6 mm. The top elevation of anchor bolts should remain within plus or minus 12 mm of the specified level. Along the established column line, the maximum accumulated deviation is 6 mm for every 30 meters, and the total accumulated error must never exceed 25 mm. Finally, the center of an anchor bolt group should not deviate by more than 6 mm from the established column line. These tolerances may appear very small, but they are essential for ensuring that the base plates fit correctly, columns align accurately, and steel erection proceeds without costly modifications or delays. Therefore, always verify anchor bolt locations and tolerances before starting steel erection. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 8. Now let's understand General Note number 8. This note explains the responsibility related to existing concrete structures in a PEB project. It clearly states that the steel building supplier does not take responsibility or liability for any existing concrete structures. If a project involves connecting new steel members to an existing building or foundation, the condition and capacity of that concrete structure must be verified by the project engineer or the owner's engineering team. The note also mentions that, whenever structural calculations involving the existing concrete are required, a concrete compressive strength of FC equals 3000 psi is assumed unless project-specific information is provided. This assumed value is used only as the basis for engineering calculations. If the actual concrete strength is different, the structural design and calculations must be reviewed and updated accordingly. Therefore, before connecting any new steel structure to an existing concrete member, always verify the actual condition and strength of the concrete instead of relying only on assumed values. This helps ensure safe load transfer, reliable structural performance, and prevents unexpected failures during construction or service. In the next slide, we'll continue with General Note number 9. Now let's understand General Note number 9. This note highlights one of the most important practices in every construction project. Always verify that you are working with the latest revision of the drawing. During a project, drawings are often revised to correct errors, update dimensions, modify connections, or incorporate client and consultant changes. If fabrication or site work is carried out using an outdated revision, it can lead to incorrect member fabrication, installation mistakes, material wastage, costly rework, and project delays. Before starting any fabrication or erection activity, always check the drawing revision number, revision date, and revision history to confirm that you are using the most recent approved drawing. If there is any confusion about the latest revision or any engineering detail, do not make assumptions. Instead, contact the design office or project consultant and obtain clarification before proceeding with the work. Following this simple practice helps ensure accurate construction, smooth project coordination, and avoids unnecessary errors on site. This concludes General Note number 9. We learned the most important general notes that every structural engineer, detailer, fabricator, site engineer, and steel erector should understand before starting a PEB project. We covered how to interpret drawing units, anchor bolt requirements, bolt alignment, building lines and benchmarks, foundation tolerances, responsibilities for foundation design, anchor bolt installation tolerances, existing concrete assumptions, and finally, the importance of always working with the latest drawing revision. Remember, these general notes may look simple, but they help prevent fabrication mistakes, site errors, costly rework, and construction delays. Understanding them is the first step toward reading any PEB General Arrangement drawing with confidence. In our next video, Video 21, we'll begin learning typical connection details. We'll explain the most commonly used steel connections, how to read them correctly, and why they are important during fabrication and site erection. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you want to master PEB drawings, steel structures, TECLA, structural drafting, and real project engineering, don't forget to subscribe to ACP Civil Hub and press the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming engineering tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Happy learning!